guys, how's it going? We're in Seattle, Washington this morning, getting ready to go to the Northwest Flower and Garden Festival. I'm looking really forward to it because we're not here to present or speak or anything like that. We're just here to enjoy it and take it in, and I thought I'd take you guys along and show you some of the stuff that we're seeing. And it's especially fun because we met some family here. My parents are here, Aaron's sister is, and Benjamin came with us. And Benjamin handled the 7-hour road trip yesterday like a boss. He did such a good job. I'm so proud of him at 1 year old. I was really nervous about that. But let me show you guys our view from the hotel room because it's amazing. Look at that. Downtown Seattle, you can see the water. You can actually see the Ferris wheel, like a little piece of it right there at night. It's all lit up. And we're in a corner room. So if you swing around, let me show you. Aaron's got cameras set up to kind of capture some of this. You can see more. So I think we're just gonna get everything together and we're gonna head down to the show. I want to show you guys how I packed for Benjamin. Check this out. I could feed him for a month on all the snacks that I brought for him. Look at that. You can definitely tell this is my first trip with a 1-year-old. I brought like the whole house. Whoa! Good boy. So we're on the 22nd floor and apparently there's some kind of problem with the elevators. That's a lot of set of stairs, a lot of flights. Oh, so do we need to take stairs?
Well, she said it might be 10 minutes.
Looks like we're heading to the stairwell.
Wasn't real clear.
May I have your attention, please? May I have your attention, please? We have completed our investigation into the cause of the alarm. The fire department has given us the all clear. Elevator service will be restored momentarily. We apologize for any inconvenience and thank you for your patience.
It's not inconvenient, we just get a workout in. So now we're in some random floor. It looks like it's like we're not supposed to be here.
Like food services
Okay,
that way.
please do not open door.
Let's just exit.
It says exit down here.
Do not open doors, just a suggestion.
See, this is what happened to us before. There's really no clear way out of here. How is there no people anywhere?
Oh yeah, we can get out.
Oh, I don't think this is proper, but...
It's not proper, but they didn't make it look clear.
This right here, that's home. Well, I feel pretty at home coming out the delivery dock access. Ooh, I'm all sweaty now. I'm nice and warm from our workout down the stairs, but we're right inside the entry of the flower show and it looks like it's huge, like it's filling this whole entire center. Okay guys, so I actually turned the camera off for a little bit so I could walk around the whole show, take it all in, and just really see the details. So now I want to take you guys back through and show you the things that really inspired me, the things I think are really pretty. So I'm going to start in the display garden area, and it's a little bit different than like our last Philadelphia Garden Show video where I was able to get really close to all the displays because we did that early in the morning before they opened and there was no people there, and it's a little bit different because it's middle of the day and it's super busy. So I'm going to try to get you guys as close to the displays as I can, and they're all themed. So the theme is Gardens of the World. So they all have a little bit of a different flair, and my favorite one is of course an inspiration from kind of a formal English garden. So this is a silver medal award-winning garden, so Notting Hill Modern English Garden. I like it because each one of the gardens has all the information right there. And starting out here on the outside, you can see the double-decker topiaries. Those are boxwood, the boxwood spheres, and then the use of white rock in the garden, which don't you think that's beautiful? You've got the white rock with the white blooms and then the silver gazing balls. Let me go around the front. So check out the balance and the symmetry here. Isn't that beautiful? I love the crushed gravel up there and the pathway, the sound of the fountain, of course the topiaries back there, and you can see the use of structure. There are pyramidal cones back there. We've got some very tightly shorn trees, and then of course the spheres. And the repetition, I think that's super important. And the next one here is called Better Ground, and what the whole thing, I talked to one of the gals who helped design it and put it together, and the whole idea is to show different ways to use native plants to like fix situations that you may have going in the garden, like rainwater areas, or just how to capture rainwater and use it to irrigate. And then they show you like hugelkultur, I think is what it's called, But let me turn the camera around and show you this garden because it really is amazing. So this area here is showing you how to collect the rain, how the roof, you know, the rain that hits the roof comes off and fills up the rain barrel, and then it irrigates this area here, and it's kind of more of a depressed area. So areas that kind of slope downward are very easy to use rainwater to do that with. And then, you know, just a lot of native plantings in here, and I love that everything is marked. That's incredibly helpful. So you move around the front side and you can see how they've designed this with the clear glass there. So you can see the different methods of composting and just, you know, kind of treating your land responsibly. And then over here they did more of kind of a rock garden, maybe like drier ground, and some really neat plantings for that. Some beautiful ferns, red twig dogwood, and there's a whole bunch of vine maple and hemlock in here, salal, red alder. Of course, you've got the mossy logs. Can you guys imagine the amount of work it would be to create a display like that? Speaking of a lot of work, this next arrangement is amazing. It's got some huge trees and a water feature. I can't imagine starting from bare ground and building a display like this. So first off, obviously my favorite part of this garden is this structure of this Japanese maple in here. Just look at the trunks. I hope you guys can see the detail like I can see it. It's never as good on camera as it is in person, of course. But they also did a live creek through here. It starts up here and it curves all the way down. It curves all the way down through here, and imagine what that would be like to build a display like this. Just amazing work. I also feel like this is a really good example of how you can use like really cool plants to create a nice winter structure in the garden, because you've got a coral bark maple, then that one of course, and then your evergreens, and then just the use of stone here. Really, like, even if there wasn't color and soft plants around it, it would still be a gorgeous spot. And seeing stuff like that, that is why I love to come to shows, because it just re-inspires me and gives me new ideas. This garden right here in front of me is all focused on orchids. It looks kind of busy in there, so I'm gonna kind of stick to the outside, but you can see the whole thing is just displayed with these gorgeous blooming orchids, really neat varieties. I really loved this one with the variegated foliage there, called China White. Alright, so now I want to show you guys the Gold Medal Award-winning garden. It's called the Mystic Garden, and it's absolutely stunning. But there are a lot of people in front of it, so I'm going to have to wait my turn. But just standing back, let's start on the side actually, where there isn't as many people. You can see the really interesting use of kind of bonsai shrubs, and then some beautiful iris with ferns. Beautiful color and texture layering. This is the entry of this garden. I can't go through there because it's roped off, but you can see the water displays and the bonsai, and just what a neat picture view that is. You can see how they mirrored the opening here, the round circle with one in the back, and that's all planted as well, so it draws you back in there and gives the garden amazing depth. Moongate is what it's called. Thank you. You can see the awards it's won down there. Look at that. And I think actually even more amazing than that entry is this piece of driftwood they have. It's kind of half carved, half not, kind of to the side. It's a stunning piece. And they've taken this piece and carved it from here about to here, but then the top is just kind of a jumble of different pieces of driftwood put together to create this amazing piece of art. People are so darn creative. I would have never thought of that. Got Celtic Travels. Now, how amazing is this? The lighting, of course, makes it. It's got kind of this glow to it. We've got some really pretty, this looks like maybe like an Arctic sun. I'm not sure that that's actually what it is. Dogwood. Then you got daffodils and some thyme, and of course the orange sedge, that drift right there, isn't that gorgeous? Kind of contrasting the daffodils with the shrub in the back, which I'm not sure what that shrub is. Can you guys imagine bringing all of these huge stones in here? Like, I don't know how they do it, honestly. I would kind of like to be here on a day where they're setting up and just be like manual labor and help them, because I think I would learn a tremendous amount. And the other thing I do really like about shows is I usually see plants that I'm not familiar with, that maybe aren't for my zone, but they're beautiful, and it's, I don't know, fun to learn about new stuff. So this one's called Imagining Ireland. You can see a nice mossy toadstool there. Lots of beautiful color. So this one's called Escape to the Mountains, and I think it might be like up there with one of my favorites because, you know, hellebores. white tulips, there's some pink tulips. I love the use of yellow in this space, as well as the use of red dogwood over there. And then these evergreens are spectacular. I've always been a huge fan of this type of spruce. Beautiful. And then they've also got a blooming witch hazel. But there's something like ordered about this that I really like. It looks kind of tidy while still having that abundant feeling. So this is the view from front. Isn't that amazing? I think these might be like Chief Joseph pines, or maybe, I don't know, like a Taylor's sunburst. I'm not sure, but they're beautiful. And then every little crevice is filled with some kind of beautiful plant. More hellebores. And the last one I want to show you guys is called Asian Sensibilities Northwest Style. Starting off with this amazing Atlas cedar, weeping Atlas cedar, something like that. Look at how enormous that tree is. Then of course we've got the beautiful structure of the Japanese maple in there, the beautiful pine, and of course all the iris in there, and the beautiful stumps. And then you move this way and you've got some water, which is so important, and beautiful structure. Got the pagoda in there, and then a beautiful bonsai specimen. Oh my word, this is an Alaska yellow cedar that's 520 years old. I'll try to get closer. Just look at that. That is amazing. So that's pretty much it for the display garden. So I'm gonna go try to find Aaron, and we're gonna run through and see what else we can see and show you maybe a few of the booths. You know, I've only been to a few flower shows, this one and Philadelphia Flower Show a couple years ago. Both had beautiful display gardens, like both of them, just absolutely inspirational. This one has, I think, a lot more vendors, but Philadelphia did have a huge entry display, like a massive display with music and lights and stuff like that, which makes you feel like you're part of this epic thing. I don't know, each show has something that's a little different, and I don't know, both are amazing. So let's go see if we can find Aaron now. Aaron, what have you been doing?
Just people be shopping.
Are you shopping?
No, I haven't. But your dad got some more jerky.
He did?
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I wanted to come by this area right here, you guys, because these are really neat. They're like little urban gardens, like little examples. You can't go in them, but each one of them is decorated differently. And I'm not sure if they were judged. Were they judged? Yeah. This one's Best Design. Rocky Bay Garden Creations. Just some really neat ideas. I love stuff like this. Ooh, look at that burrito sedum. Check this out. Look at how beautiful this is. I love all the color use in here. Digs inside and out. Croissants in the city. Oh, I love this. Look at those containers. Isn't that beautiful? Little boxwood and snowdrops. And I love this display because look at this. Wouldn't mind sitting in here. So this one's by Urban Earth Nursery from Fremont. And look at how beautiful. I'm drawn to this one because I've done pellet planters before, and I just think they're so neat looking. Such an easy way to get a vertical accent. And then of course the pyramidal blue cypress there is beautiful. I'm really loving all the colors in this display, like the rust along with like the colors in the hellebore and the color in the catkins of the pussy willow right there. There's some heuchera worked in. Just beautiful. So this next room is just absolutely packed full of vendors. My favorite ones though are like iron or concrete vendors, or just booths that are full of plants. So I'm just gonna show you a few of my favorites. First one you see is Christensen's Nursery, and you guys, this booth is amazing. Amazing. And one of the reasons I love this booth so much is that I have been to their nursery before. It's in Mount Vernon, Washington, and the owners are just the sweetest people. But I wanted to run you through this booth here. Like, I seriously love everything I see. Aren't these pots gorgeous? I want them. And this rack right here is just full of beautiful green and white colors, hellebores, Vavoom white right there. Get a focus. There it is. Some Iberis right here, which I don't have any of this in my garden yet, and I need to get that planted. Blue Star Juniper, and just a bunch of beautiful tiny specimen evergreens. I think Erin is gonna put a beautiful word counter up because I've probably said that word about 100 times so far today. Tons of orchids. My friends at Gardener Supply. That's Avery. So tell us about your new tomato frames.
These are our new Vertex tomato cages. They're really awesome. They're made out of rust-proof aluminum and they fold down super flat for storage. And they're so lightweight and nice.
Slick.
So you can also unattach these clips so you can wrap it around a plant that's already maturing.
Huh.
And then this one stacks on top of it. These ones just come in and out of their little slips.
That is huge.
So once your plant reaches a height that you want to have it this tall, you can just pop one right on.
Do people grow their tomatoes that tall? Did you do that in test gardens? Wow. Oh, and the bamboo LED light garden. I have one of those in my bedroom. I could spend all day showing you guys all this stuff, but there's just one more booth, I think. One more booth I really want to show you that has a bunch of, oh, it's down this aisle. It has the most beautiful iron pieces ever. Here it is, you guys. Look at that gazebo. Look at the top. It looks like a crown. So fancy. I need this in my yard. Also gorgeous armillaries. Look at that. And look at all of the trellises back here. They're all just so beautiful. That's neat. I never thought to do that. So this is actually called Waldorf Kennels is the name of this business. But you can see, look at this beautiful arbor. It's actually really long. Let me see if I can get back and show you. Kind of hard to probably see detail with all of the wires, like all of the metal, but it's just absolutely stunning in real life, you guys. I want so many of these pieces. And look at that bench. Isn't that the most unique bench? That's the top of it and it's got a really high back. I think it's really unique. Also a bunch of antique vendors here, which I was not expecting. There might be a couple of things that come home with me. And then this area behind me with all of the tables and chairs, they do some really fun competitions and classes, but they have a really beautiful living wall up there on the stage that I want to show you. Isn't this so cool? I love the use of all the different colors of wood. It really gives the wall dimension. Then, you know, of course, all the plants are amazing. I like all of the sedge, like the carex along with the ferns, and then the beautiful heucheras right there. I thought you guys would really enjoy seeing that. All right guys, I think that's gonna be it for this video because I'm pretty sure I have filmed, I don't even know how many booths. Aaron's probably gonna cut some of them out because he's gonna say it's too long. But I hope what we did show you gives you kind of an idea of the flavor of what this show is like. If you ever have a chance to come to it, you definitely should. It's very inspirational, especially during the winter. Like, I love that they do shows this time of year when we don't, like, we're not super busy out in the garden and dealing with our own stuff out there, but we're able to focus and really take in all of the beauty that they bring in for these shows. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for hanging out and watching it, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.